Edo State Governor Senator Okpebholo is 100 days in office. How would you assess his New Edo's rising administration? Is a New Edo truly rising, or a New Edo is falling? This we'll be taking a look at on today's episode of the program, Political Insights on VOS TV Nigeria. Jude Aweke is my name. Let's get to feel the pulse of the people on the assessments of the governor's administration so far, his achievements. We join Austin Ayene, who is at the popular Ring Square, to feel the pulse of the people.
Today, the 19th of February 2025, makes it exactly 100 days of Governor Okpebholo stay in office as the executive governor of Edo State, the heartbeat of the nation. And of course, his performances in the last 100 days in office has started generating mixed reaction from the residents of the state. So we are hitting the street this morning to feel the impulse of the people, to capture their views about the performance of Governor Okpebholo in the last 100 days in office.
As this government came in, I observed that they hit the ground running. And to be very candid, I'm so impressed because my house at Owerri, I'm so impressed about what they are doing in Sapele Road.
The community, I saw what he's doing there. He's preparing to make a good road, but they've already started working already. They started with an erosion bus, but they are working. Doing that alone, I know that this governor will try.
I discovered that the man have just performing in a good work. Accordingly, the man is trying.
He tried for us and we are praying for him. Imagine, for him to take over, within a couple of a month plus, he gave sweepers generally. He gave us some money. So say it's 13 months, 13 that we have never seen before.
He has put on ground, but I've not seen anything new in respect of this present administration. But even for the so-called flyover, which they are talking about at Okpebholo or whatever, at Oil Mining, at Ramat Park, I have not even seen anything too.
So what is announced, but what we are seeing is different. These guys are still very active in the streets. When you enter public vehicles, you see them stopping them on different junctions, collecting different amounts of stipends. So it's not just to implement things on voice, audio implementation, it should be actively implemented.
Those are Edo people. They're expressing divergent views on the governor's administration so far, his style of governance and his achievements. All of these we'll be taking a look at on the program. Today, we are joined here in the studio by Mr. Christopher Ojekere. Ojekere is a chieftain of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, in the state. Mr. Ojekere, you're welcome on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, you can see Edo people expressing divergent views on Governor Okpebholo's administration so far, his achievements so far in the past 100 days. Let's get to, take a look at what do you think? How would you assess Okpebholo's administration so far?
All right, thank you for that question.
Yes.
Before I begin, I'd like for us to understand that even though we have a plethora of talkings all over the country about governance and government, people shouldn't lose sight of the fact that governance is the next most serious thing on earth, next to the family, which is itself next to God. Governance is what takes care of the destinies of people in any community. In Edo State, we are talking about over 5 million destinies. And so when we go out to talk and analyze government, we are not just doing that from what people want to look at it from. We are not doing it from partisan point of view. We are doing it as a concern.
Yes.
That the common patrimony and resources that God has given to us in the state, we are trying to find models, strategies, and individuals and competencies that are able to manage these resources to the good of all, to the wealth of all. So it is in that light I am going to be analyzing Okpebholo today. The truth of the matter, and I say it again, that I'm not speaking partisanly, and I'm not speaking, frivolously. The truth of the matter, yes.
Deviate from partisans,
Yes, and I have just promised that I will do that.
Yes.
The truth of the matter.
Know that you are a PDP chieftain.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the person in question is a PDP, an APC member.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I'm speaking here as an Edo citizen.
As an Edo citizen.
Edo citizen who is a few years older than Okpebholo himself, who is the governor. And so we lived about the same time in the development of the state. And in that stretch of time, we were able to see the standards that our forebears and our immediate past generation set as Edo State. And that standard has put Edo State in the map of Nigeria and internationally, that when people are analyzing Edo State today, they don't analyze Edo State as a state. They analyze Edo State as if they are analyzing a geopolitical zone. Because in every area of competence, be it academics, sports, culture, every finance, Edo people are there at the top echelon. So to manage those people, you must have a standard that is commensurate, at the very least, to the standard that they have set for themselves, which translated in pidgin is Edo not they carry last. So it is on that basis that we had a governor who had just passed, who came and raised the bar of governance, that all Edo people, whether you hate him or you love him, we are proud of. And his plethora of achievements and the standard mark of those achievements are there for all to see. So first of all, I think it is premature or immature for any governor or his administration to create the impression that in 100 days, you'll be showing what you refer to as great achievements in infrastructural development, in education, in health, in 100 days. Your budget was passed around December 10. And so if you have 100 schools as the tout to show us that you have developed in 100 days, it means from the day you were sworn in, you started to repair or renovate or whatever you were doing to the school that you are showing, one school in a particular day. So you had started to operate a budget that you had not even passed. You were sworn in November 12 and your budget was passed December 10. So it shows the level of immaturity, and that is why I started with the intro. People think that they should just come and talk and then fulfill all the righteousness of flippancy, and they call that, defending their government or whatever. Governance is serious business. So tell us the truth. That's where it starts from. The truth is that the best any governor can do in 100 days, is to show us the trajectory, the policies, the template of your government, and to give us the trajectory of that policy. And that is what we will analyze. To say by the template you have given us and the trajectory you have given us and the policies you have laid bare, this is what we can predict as your end point or objectives. That's the best you can do in 100 days. You would have taken time to study what you meant on ground. They didn't do this. And I'll tell you why they didn't do this. They didn't do this because they did not prepare for governance. They didn't prepare for governance because the person who is governor today has no idea whatsoever in the world what it means to be a governor. He is a political margin player who had worked with political actors and then maybe has an ambition which is entitled to, but he doesn't have an ounce or modicum of competence to understand what it means to be an executive CEO of a state. The entire agenda that was planned by those who brought him in, headed by Adams Aliyu Oshomole, who unfortunately, insultingly, became his voice in the 100 days that he should have been speaking to Edo people, laying bare his template, laying bare his policy, Oshiomhole left Abuja and came and spoke for him. And the governor, so to speak, did not think that it was an insult to his person.
The governor spoke.
The governor spoke on Friday. I'm referring to the television interview which Oshiomhole proudly came to give to ITV on behalf of the governor.
It can't be on behalf of the governor because the government has...
Oshiomhole was not discussed throughout the interview.
He appeared as a guest. Oshiomhole appeared as a guest. So every guest has rights to their opinion.
Okay.
So let's not delve into that.
Okay, but...
It shouldn't be for the governor.
Okay.
Because they are spokesperson, they are media aides to the governor.
Yes, good. So, and that is why we are worried that with this plethora of media aides, why should Oshiomhole abdicate his responsibility in Abuja that he owes to my senatorial district as senator representing Edo North to come to Benin and begin to speak for the governor? Which is why the governor, in speaking the next day, mistakenly referred to him as the senator representing Edo South. Because the man is supposed to have been in his constituency speaking for Edo North people. So as a guest, I
think we
that.
should face issues.
Yeah, you know why we're... That's the issue. The issue is this.
The issue at hand now.
The issue is this.
We want to take a look at the achievements of the governor in the last 100 days. Those are the issues you are taking a look at.
You are asking me to make the same mistake
but
I said
you are deviating.
No, I'm creating I'm creating a context. Okay. Nothing happens in vacuum, and nothing happens in media res, in the middle. Every cause, every effect has a cause. Yes. So there is a cause. And I'm saying to you that when Okpebholo was sworn in as governor, the vice president of Nigeria announced before the world that Oshiomhole has achieved his aim of being restored back as the godfather of Edo politics. And Oshiomhole is the one who brought the governor. I'm talking of television, what happened in television. And so, point I'm making is that rather than have a trajectory, policies and manifesto, they had only one. Let us hate Obaseki and destroy everything Obaseki has done. So in 100 days...
That's from your view.
Yeah, so I'm going to give you... You asked me to supply you why I said that. That's why I'm coming to. Okay. I'm going to give you serial examples to support that statement. So that's why I said you should have let me land. Okay. Now, 100 days has been spent with great effort to try and destroy the legacies of Obaseki. How did it start? And Oshiomhole referred to it in that interview I'm referring to. The signature policy of Bola Tinubu, the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, his pride today in government has been that he's the first president that have been able to achieve full autonomy for local government areas and for the state houses of assembly. That is the signature policy of Tinubu, who is APC. The same party as the governor of Edo State, Okpebholo. The only example that Tinubu can cite today in Nigeria as the Achilles heels to that his pride and joy is coming from Okpebholo, his own governor of the same party, attacking that institution, attacking the policy of the federal government, withstanding the Attorney General of Nigeria, withstanding the Supreme Court precedents and judgments, and withstanding the Nigerian Constitution. And that is because, as I was laying down to you, the policy they had was the policy of vendetta. So it didn't matter what Tinubu is proud of, what the Constitution says, what the Attorney General of the Federation, Lateef Fagbemi, SAN says, or what is the Supreme Court precedents. Oshiomhole is defending to Edo people on ITV that the governor has a right to assault our local government areas, to drive out local government chairmen and their deputies. We saw, I'm happy that when this were all going on, faithful Edo people were covering this thing. The videos are everywhere. In Oredo local government, about 7 goons, thugs, which we forbid the world, we are standing holding horsewhip, what we call koboko. And we are saying, Tom Obaseki, where are you? We will lash you. You know you are stubborn. We will lash you, we will beat you. You are stubborn as Governor Obaseki. Thugs in Edo State Center, which is Oredo, And the 7 of them were, but 7 or more, we are standing. I know 100 others are behind. I'm saying we will lash you. Didn't you see it? In Edo Central, the same thing. In Edo, not the same thing. With violence, ignominy, impunity, talks were sent to institutions of government, the 3rd tier, the local government, to go and drive out local government chairmen and their deputies like thieves. And then puppets were picked and installed. And a lawmaker, a federal lawmaker, is sitting on national television and is saying to the world that councillors impeached the local government chairman. The councillors, as he admitted, are PDP. The chairman are PDP. They were all elected on the same template, working on the same policies. Why would they impeach the local government chairman? Didn't we know, and don't we know what happened in the state? Up till now, we don't know those who are local government chairmen in Edo State by Okpebholo's own admission, arrangement, and Okpebholo's own list. The local government chairmen of Edo State are those that were duly elected. So says the Constitution. In fact, a few days ago, only last week here, was it this week, Lateef Fagbemi reinforced and reiterated that any governor who is going against constituted local government elected, personnel or chairman is committing a treasonable
I saw that, yeah.
By that, our governor and Oshomele are hanging on their necks, accusations of treason. What happened? There's a captured in camera. We have the videos. So we have the evidence to show in court.
Okay.
That's number one.
Yeah,
I'm sure you had the went. No, you say I should prove it. I'm trying to show because I made a statement. I said they spent 100 days attacking democracy, destroying. Okay.
Oh, that's
just number one. I want to give you serial examples.
Before we will get to that, let's get to see his 5 points agendas. The 5 points agenda he gave during his electioneering campaign. Let's get to see them. Security, education, health infrastructure. In health, do you think he has really made a mark in the past 200 days?
Let me give you the rundown of the health ecosystem he met. We have the best nursing school in the whole of Nigeria. In that nursing school we have in Nigeria, they were so good, they got registered by NBT, National Board for Technical Education, to become a nursing polytechnic. They were actually pursuing to become nursing university. You can fact check all of this. They use telemedicine program, studies from abroad. They'll sit in their class. That's the best nursing school in Africa. We have the best school of health technology, which provide ancillary services to the nursing school in the whole country. Obasanjo Specialist Hospital, Obaseki in his rare moment had to boast and say, if you see a better one in Nigeria, then challenge me when they came to commission it. We had the best specialist hospital. And then we had the best, for Obaseki's 7 years, there was not a single quarrel between health workers, whether doctors, dentists, whatever, and Obaseki. The first thing we saw when Okpebholo came in was to bring Nelson Tenebe, an upstart neophyte medical personnel who has never run a clinic, to come and be CEO, chief executive of this medical ecosystem. And that's why the Medical and Dental Association of Edo State are on strike right now. So that is what he has achieved in 100 years in the health sector. To disorganize a well-planned, we have one of the best health insurance schemes. Next to NHIS, which is the National Health Insurance Scheme, Edo HIS is the next best. I mean, go and ask people who are beneficiaries of it. Somebody was telling me 3 days ago, said, I was surprised though. I said, don't be surprised. That's what it's meant to achieve. Obaseki won't put money in your pocket, but he's sending money to the pockets of all Edo people because they are benefiting from the services he has provided. That's the whole system of government. So that is what he has achieved in the health sector, to disrupt that system and to put our medical personnel on strike today. That's health sector.
Now, let's talk about security.
Good. The only signature example I will give you is security.
10
is
over
that
10. Are you giving him 10 over 10?
I'm giving him -0. sub minimal level, because it is a big shame to Edo State that we cannot even hold an election tribunal in Edo State. because some goons will go there every day, and a young man was shown on TV shooting gun into the air in a court premises. Lawyers were manhandled. The telephones of security men were smashed on the ground. There's a TV we were watching where Abel Stone was standing, Kabaka was standing, and the entire hierarchy of the Nigerian police force was standing. In their presence, they spotted somebody who was PDP and decided chasing the person. All of this were on TV. I didn't go there. I was seeing them on TV.
Yes, that is true.
And because of all of this,
I witnessed.
yeah, because of this kind of violence, we started from when they announced that Okpebholo won the election. They started that violence in INEC office, where they had beaten up those who had gone for the forensic, the lawyers who had come to go and obtain, forensic, what do you call it, beavers to do forensics, and all of them in INEC, all of that, we have passed that. Now this is what is happening under 100 days. That's the security. Now, go to every junction right now. Send your reporters out. Let them go around the junctions of Edo today. If they don't see 3 places where drivers and these Okpebholo boys are fighting, then call me a liar. Let me show you where if they don't see in Nepa Junction, in New Lagos Roads, let them try Ecusa. If they don't see there, then let them try about 4 or 5 places in Ring Road. You must see where drivers and Okpebholo are fighting. Because right now, the drivers cannot even identify who is who. A driver has not loaded, he has paid for 4,000. License have been given to hoodlums. Once you can consider yourself into...
That has been stopped. I recall a certain time the governor stopped all payments of payment for tickets and all of that.
We are now in the regime of Okpebholo. Are you referring to Obaseki?
Not Obaseki, Okpebholo.
Stop what?
Payment for...
When he just started, they swarmed into the streets. I want to tell you what you recall. When he just started, they swarmed into the streets. And then Edo people rose up, because for a long time we have not seen that. And then he announced officially, and it was just official. Even in the face of the announcement, the first person that came out was Shaba, who said by radio to man around town that the governor said he should be collecting 100 naira from drivers. That was the license for all the others to come back to the streets. Carry your camera. They are on the streets right now, fighting drivers. If they were even official, collectors...
We'll get to verify that.
Yes, they verify that. They are fighting drivers in every junction.
Let's talk about, prior to the governor's administration, there was, heightened spate of courts-related killings and all of that, insecurity. But when the governor came into power, he gave a marching order to the commissioner of police to stop that, and it stopped. Yeah. So are you saying that the government has not achieved in the area of terms of security? The governor also, was it 2 days ago, they flagged off about 75 patrol vans, Hilos vans, for the security operatives to effectively do their job and nip crimes and criminalities. And you told him that the government is not making progress in terms of security. I'm not trying to be defensive.
No. When you have information, you report it. Just that you added 15 to the number of vehicles. It's 60, not 75.
Okay.
Yes, and I'm quoting his
But you didn't mention that.
I have not. You were asking the rider.
You were only...
No, I am naming to you all the scenario. I've not got to this point.
Okay.
So you named, they're actually 60, and I'm quoting his essay on media, who was talking to Channels Television yesterday, Bugay.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's 60 equipped and has given to them. But I can assure the governor that the first people, if they actually do their work, that they will arrest, are all his people. The insecurity in Edo State are caused by his people. We hope he will keep faith and follow through and put them in jail, because the people we are going to arrest are all his people. They're the one creating security. So we won't say, no, why did he give 60 vehicles to security people? Fine. But 60 vehicles to security people so that they can obey your instructions does not translate to having peace in Edo State. Let those vehicles, hold on, let me finish. Let those vehicles actually secure us. As I speak to you now, from Dawson Junction in Okpebholo to UBT, to Uniben, to Luku, not a single street light comes on. because all the wires inside those poles have all been stolen. Because when you leave open and you create and you follow Oshomole's philosophy that says that it is government's business to empower thugs and then change their name. The thugs he was trying to empower are the ones who celebrated 1 billion naira, whereas those who are trying to empower the thugs have not celebrated the 100 million naira.
Mr. Jekwe,
yes,
the
so
thugs you are referring to,
yes.
the same persons, Governor Obaseki, former Governor Godwin Obaseki, engaged as civil defense, or rather vigilante.
What are you saying? Definitions don't come before activities. It's activities that give name to definition. So don't put name on people. The names we are using are names resulting from activities. People you call civil defense who were there and you can sleep with your eyes closed. You are calling them thugs?
No,
we had the
they
best.
Are same persons that has
done what?
That are the civil defense today.
Who is talking of civil defense? Is it civil defense that are on the road? The people on the road don't even have uniforms. They don't have names. They just, their entitlement is that we belong to Ebostone camp, we belong to Kabaka camp, we belong to Shaba camp, we belong to this one camp.
Are you alleging?
I'm not alleging. I'm telling you, I'm an Edo man. You think Kabaka is going to deny that his boys are thugs? Or Ebostone will deny? What makes you a thug is your activity. When the thugs entered NBA to try and fight lawyer, you didn't hear Kabaka on that video. Say, una want go fight lawyer? I'm not saying another one, no. Kabaka knows what is decorum. He knows what is government. Kabaka is not sending those boys. But the government's attitude and policy has liberalized thuggery. And so anybody now goes into the road under the cover. The best thing you can do, wear modern. And you do what you like on the road. Government's attitude is what regulates society. The Okpebholo cannot be on the road. But let him come out and make such statements. And insist. And then let 2 or 3 be arrested by the new vehicle he has submitted. And then you will see that the temper and tempo of the society will change. Obaseki's no-nonsense attitude to thuggery is what regulates them. I'm happy you say it's the same people. You can't change their morality. This is the law that regulates. So you put laws in place that shows that there will be deterrence and punishment for certain actions. That's what controls society. Except you are born again, you remain who you are. But the law will show you where to go. So I am saying to you now that if you go to every street junction in Benin, you see fightings.
Mr. Jekwe,
yes.
I think there is relative peace.
Because your pulse goes out and comes in with you. And when you are going now, you go with your camera, so they know that you are a media man. Do you realize, do you watch television? Do you follow other news? Did you see the drama and the girl that was being molested by that?
Times people couldn't sleep with 2 eyes closed. They sleep with an eye closed, especially when courtesan was really the right.
Now, let me address that courtesan. I'm an Edo man. I've been in here for a while. Courtesan is a recurrent, that's not court war. It's a recurrent decimal in Edo politics, in Edo society. And this is what causes it. You have one court person, either struggling a girlfriend with another court person, and it leads to fighting, and then it gets violent, and the other people say we are taking revenge. That is what it was. And then they start fighting. It has happened in every region, intermittently like that. It has nothing to do with Okpebholo's statement. When it is time again, there will be another fight. So what you should do is to ensure that the court leaders are not empowered. But when you begin to now encourage their leaders to protect them politically, then you're going to have more of such incidents. So don't empower courtism and court activities. And then whenever there is court war, try and get to the bottom. I, sitting here, played a major role in the stoppage of that war that you are saying. And if it comes for him to prove that, I'll prove that. I played a major role in the stoppage of that court war that you are saying, with a few others. We realize that this thing has now become, it's now beyond the states. There need to be channels of communication to where they will listen, and they listened. It has nothing to do with Governor Okpebholo, making any pronouncement. The period you are saying coincided with electionary period. And some people were trying to ensure that they give the impression that a day was boiling. It wasn't political war. It was court war. It was stopped.
Let's get to talk about infrastructure. Some Edo person, like the video you just watched, they say the governor is really doing well in terms of infrastructure. Say the gigantic flyover that is sprouting out the Ramat Park in Benin City, the state's capital. You can see a number of roads that are being constructed and reconstructed in different parts of the states. So
in 100 days?
Yes, in 100 days. They are there. So would you say the government is
which
trying?
Roads? So they are there. Which roads?
Yes, there are a number of them.
Okay.
We have the Binia Ushu Road. We have some of these
Okay, you have named,
adjoining streets.
You have named one.
Yes.
Okay.
Some of these adjoining streets.
Okay.
There are many.
Okay.
There.
So then, first of all, let me educate those people. No government can construct roads in 100 days. The government can award contracts for roads because the government's budget, which was passed around December 10, and this is February, before releases will come for that budget. If he claimed that he found money to do that, then it only goes to show that Obaseki left a fortune in the state coffers. Now, that means they
indicted for 90-something billion fraud.
By the same government that will tell you
plunging the state into 640-something billion.
Yes, by the same government that will go and stand in Teboga Road that Obaseki has constructed and claim glory for it. By the same government that will go and stand in a Kenwan Road that Obaseki has constructed and begin to claim glory for it. By the same government that will go to the schools Obaseki had finished renovating, like New Era, and claim glory for it. So that's why I told you in my intro that government is serious business. It's not those charlatan things that they are doing. He has not constructed any road. What he's doing,
the contractors, Obaseki did not mobilize them. They were not mobilized.
You said he said. So what it means is that the contractors went there and started using their own money.
They stopped work. When he came into power, he mobilized
Before
them.
they will stop work, they had started work. Isn't it work you start that you stop? So you mean the contractor just went to a piece of land or a road and started using their instruments to work? Now this is how contracts are done.
They were not mobilized.
They were mobilized. Mobilization of any contract is done in tranches. So if a government, as Obaseki had done, had built goodwill over time with his contractors, and then you have a road to build for, say, 78 billion or 7.8 billion. You can say, okay, first tranche, you get your mobilization of 3 billion. Go and start. And then the contractor will go and start. In between your starting and the point to which you got, there's an election. Obaseki is out. Is it not your responsibility? Places like Moa, for instance, are almost fully paid for. Those roads you are saying, some of them are almost fully paid for, 75%, 85% to different degrees. Those are the ones that are continuing to work because they have been paid. And now you come halfway and you go and begin to claim the glory, and then you say they stopped work. Between when and when would they stop work? Where did you now find money to remobilize them? Was it from your pocket? Because your budget was December 10. If you had money in the coffers, that's a state government's money. So you took the Edo State government money and gave them, and you are talking as if it's your own money. Is government not supposed to be a continuum? Hold on, let me finish.
He's utilizing the money effectively.
You said he mobilized the roads. The road was being constructed. That's effective use of the money now. So he only continued what was effectively being done. The ones he didn't have the capacity for, he destroyed them. Any fool can pay contractors to continue the road.
Why did the former governor not finish them for good 8 years?
Which road? That's why I asked you earlier when we were talking. Which road?
A number of them.
Give me one now. Give me so
We have Upper Mission Road that is being constructed by the governor at present. We have
which Upper Mission are you referring to?
There is this bad spots.
Jude, you don't know. Let me explain to you.
No, there are a number of them.
Listen to me, Jude. Listen to me, Jude. Upper Mission was constructed not even by Obaseki, but by Oshomole. Upper Mission begins from New Benin and terminates at the bridge when you now have to start to ascend to Okpebholo. There was not a single spot in Upper Mission that was bad. It is Ewa Road Junction that had issues, which was duly and well fixed by Obaseki. Every time they fix it, it goes bad. Hold on, let me finish.
Those track talks that are,
I don't know where you saw the road now, but I don't know where you saw that. The other spot that was constituting traffic in Okpebholo access to town was front of DVD filling station. So that time when you had that problem, it would not create traffic till Okpebholo market, especially on market days. Obaseki fixed that, dug the gutter into Okpebholo River. And that is why if you go there now, from that time till now, no more traffic there. The touted, what do you call it, overhead bridge that you are dancing about is because of the fact that the aesthetics, that is the beauty that overhead bridge brings to town, is the only argument for that bridge. It has nothing to do with our economic viability, because there is no traffic on that road. The road runs from Okpebholo down.
There is no traffic?
There is not a single traffic, even on market days. The traffic was there when DVD spot was bad.
I once lived around that.
That's my home.
You're talking about this flyover. You mean it's not useful?
It is only useful to serve the fact that you can point to say there's flyover in Delta and it's fine. There's flyover in Edo and it's fine. Where is the flyover going to begin from?
Have you applied that route?
I am telling
from
you.
8 a.m. to 9 a.m.
I'm giving you names of spots on the road. So that will tell you that road, I know it like the back of the palm of my hand. I am saying that right now, Okpebholo axis down to Ewa Road Junction, up to Second Junction, the only time you will see vehicles standing is when the light is red.
I see that.
Yeah, you go and verify.
Because
so when they are saying,
I often used to apply that route.
Yes, when they are saying,
yes,
I lived there, not apply.
I once lived there too.
My sister says in that market, in fact, their shop is going to be one of the shops that you are going to have one of the pillars. I was there the day they came to do measurement. Nobody is against the flyover. I'm saying that the way they are putting it up there like a signature project is ignorant and annoying to competence. You are only going to have the aesthetics of flyover. Those state roads, Benin City Road, is the most linked city in the whole of West Africa. I don't need a flyover in Benin City. I don't need one. That very place you are saying, that Eboga Road which you went to claim, can go to Uniben and can go to Uwelu, that Eboga Road, without touching New Lagos roads. And that's how Benin is linked. That's how Benin was planned, right from the 16th century of Obayaware I. So there is no hue and cry over flyover that will begin to. It's just that you want to create one flyover, fine, because people were saying give us flyover. I mean, people,
not just one. They also plan to.
He plans to do 3. The first one is going to take 3 years, according to him. We don't even know whether he will stay there beyond 6 months. So let us assume that the first one takes 3 years. When is he going to do the other 2? He's talking of Dawson Joshua, and then one in Sapler Road, maybe at Desua. That's where he's thinking of. It even makes more sense to put flyover in Dawson Junction right now, the way things are, than Okpebholo, because of the intersection in Dawson Junction. So you see, when people are talking, there are school children talk. But when we are talking of serious business of governance, you sit down and you think hard. And then you do your... I heard about Shomala saying yesterday that he does not need feasibility studies, he does not need IAA to be able to do anything. He can just cite a project and cite a road. That's the kind of mentality that is ruling us. Because when he's planning, he plans only for that month and that week. But government plans for 100 years and 30 years. That was Obaseki's problem. That he's laying foundations. So you can't see immediate results. But Edo Health Insurance Scheme, go and ask those who have benefited from it. The pensioner scheme that have ensured that our pensioners are getting money as at when due now every month. Right now, do you know that the economy is in trouble? Because revenue generation every month has dropped from 7 billion to 2 billion. And now the people we have brought in, the people
10 billion.
So they said they made 10 billion in the last month.
Yes.
Yes, they made 10 billion, that's fine. How did they make it? From the creative revenue template that Obaseki put in place. Yes, to get money from the conglomerate of the NNPC, NIDP, and so on and so forth. All of them together paying their taxes, the 5.something billion. And then they made 4.something billion, which is what they would have made, minus those ones. Obaseki was the one that started that tax structure. So we are not saying
education. Now education.
Yeah.
How would you rate education?
Do we have a commissioner for education now appointed? I'm not aware yet.
No,
so you see, when people are talking, who is the person now that is, who understands, what do they understand about Edo's educational templates? Who understands it? Do they understand it? Do we have a committee that have understudied it? They're just there criticizing it. But do you lie to external exams when the numeracy skills and the literacy skills of Edo youths in GSS exam consecutively was not coming first? After Obaseki had been there for a few years and experimented on that. Can you deny that? Can you deny the fact when I was present in New Era, when they got their first tab, 11,000 teachers, when they got their first tabs? Those are teachers who some confess that they have never in their life heard anything like iPhone or iPad or anything like that, or what do you call it, tablets in their life. But now they are proficient users of technology. And the world is going technological. They can interact with their children at home now on technology. You don't know that. Look, development, the only thing they understand as development, it's to see physical structure that they will say, we spent 6 billion on this, and they would have spent 1 billion and then kept the other ones in their pockets. And that's the cycle they are trying to reintroduce. And they are angry with Obaseki for trying to liberalize people's thinking. I'm telling you that those teachers now anywhere in the world can now use tabs. That's human resource development. Their children are now using tabs in public schools. What you used to have that time is that those children will finish primary school, secondary school, and then they will now go to computer center to start to learn how to use computer. But right from primary schools now, they're interacting with tabs. These are the things we call development. And that heightened the level of awareness in our Edo society, heightened our educational development in Edo society, and that's why we raised the bar on governance. And that is why the man they choose became such a public ridicule, because he was dealing with a society that was too enlightened for him.
Mr. JK, before we get to see what you think should be done, for the administration to be very more effective.
Good.
We'll get to that. Let's get to talk about the government indictment of former governor Godwin Obaseki.
You know why we can't discuss that? Fraud. Because it is their word against our word. You have not seen any document.
And also the 640-something billion naira debt.
I say it's their word against our word. They've not shown you any documents.
A committee was set up. There was a committee, and the findings of the committee.
You set up the committee?
The government set up a committee.
So you expect the committee the government set up to come and tell you that the government set up a phantom committee? Did they tell you what the Attorney General did, that they sacked you? And the chairman, local government commission? Were they not the one that appointed those ones? And all of a sudden, before they started operating budget,
and
you have accused your own Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice, before you started operating your budget, that he has committed so much financial malfeasance that you have to suspend him. And then you suspended him and suspended the local government. What is his offense?
Those that show proof of transparency in governance.
So transparency, you won't tell us what he did? What is transparency?
They are still investigating it. He just
what are you investigating? That's what you tell the public.
It's an allegation.
Yeah, that's what you tell the public, that you are investigating that he stole 100 million naira from social place.
Financial misappropriation. Investigation. So the findings of the investigation will prove and will show what they did.
Have you listened to police reports? They will say Jude was alleged to have slept with the 16-year-old girl. They will name the offense. But we cannot prove it now. We are still carrying out investigation. So Samson Osage is alleged to have taken 100 million from XYZ local government chairman. Did you hear that? You just say financial misappropriation. That shows that the government takes no nonsense. What financial misappropriation? Before you get to the point of suspending your #1 commissioner, Attorney General, you would have finished your own findings. I think you're talking to children. So the point I'm making to you, yes,
it won't be possible for the government to really carry out effective investigation.
Let me tell you, Jude, let me tell you how it works. Let me tell you how it works. Let me tell you how it works. Let me tell you how it works.
That necessitated the suspension.
Let me tell you how it works. The #1 commissioner of the state, the Attorney General, is responsible for all legal prosecution, administrative prosecution of government.
Exactly.
If you are investigating him, before you get to suspension, the governor has been laid clearly on his table. It has been laid clearly on the governor's table, all the things he did. It is you that won't know. Then the governor will now call his media aid. Tell them according to
I still recall the question I asked you. You deviated from
No, you are asking so many questions at the same time.
I asked you concerning the government's indictment of former governor.
My answer to you was that
96 billion naira fraud, and also plunging the state into 606 billion naira debt. What's your answer?
My answer to you is that the government just comes out in his whims and caprice and just names figures and just say things and expect us to be as daft as whoever is saying those things. Before you say the governor embezzled this, you will tell us what? So contract that was given to so person and so thing, the government kept this one in his head. You don't just say he embezzled 96 billion. On what projects? Say them. So that's what I'm saying, is their word against our word. So I am saying to you, the governor did not. You are going to take that?
The government claimed that in conniver with the local government chairman sacked. And that was one of the reasons the council chairman were sacked, according to the government.
So the government will say that according to them, Jude was said to have slept with an underage girl, and that's why we castrated him. Is that what the law says? Castrate Jude when he sleeps with an underage girl? So they are showing you their reasoning. There are procedures and processes. First of all, the Constitution does not permit the state government to have any business at all to do with the third tier of government. They are elected officials.
Yes.
So why are they jumping in there? To give you an excuse of why they had to jump in there, go unconstitutional, go against the president. They dreamt up this. And say they are conniving with the local government chairman. Now that you suspended the executive local government chairman, who is the money coming to? It's coming to him. You put pupils there that you now call to government house. They come to government house now. They give them their small thing and they go back home. That's just what he wanted. Because the federal government has announced, and the Constitution has now put down his feet, that they shouldn't interfere. The only excuse to interfere is to start telling the man who has gone away that he was interfering. Where are your papers? Where are your proofs? Did any local government chairman cry out before you came? You created the offense for them. You created the solution to the offense for them. Why didn't you allow the councillors to cry out? Did anybody cry out before you came? So it's all cooked up because they were desperate for money. They didn't have money. And then they saw what was going to the local government area. Is it now that I am governor that they now say autonomy? I must find a way to interfere. So to install their people who will listen to whatever they are saying, they attacked constitutionally elected government. That's treason. And then disrupted it, endangered democracy, stood up to their own president, and then trying to justify it. So the reason why we saw a thief here and we beat him to death, those of you who beat him to death will face the law.
And now let's talk about
Yes.
it. So you're of the position that Governor Godwin Obaseki never embezzled 98 billion naira.
I am absolutely of the position. He didn't embezzle one kobo.
Okay, now talking about the debt, 682 billion naira
Also,
debt against 48 billion naira debt he inherited from former Governor Godwin or former Governor Shomole in 2016.
Let me tell you that.
What's your position?
I also don't have that figures. I don't have that figure, but let me tell you about debt. It is childish for a government to be accusing government of debt. The whole Europe are owing America. America itself is owing China. What is important in debt, Nigeria is the most indebted nation almost in the whole world, is if it is indeed true that Obaseki is owing 600 billion naira, did he build 2 ethanol factories, each of which will pay the 600 billion naira within 2 years? Did he build an independent power plant? Did he build the best state school hospital in the whole country? Did he? So when money is borrowed and put in productive economy, that is what we call positive borrowing in economics. That is good borrowing. Nations are advised and encouraged to borrow those kind of borrowing. You borrow and you build railways. You borrow and you build commerce. You borrow and you build production economy. That's what we call borrowing. So you borrow because the only economics they understand is federal government bring money, we share them. Which government is not borrowing? That government is not functioning. Because you're only operating within your 100 and something billion every month, every year. You want to develop those states with 100 and something billion every year, you will take 100 years to develop those states. If I do the computation for you of what MOA will be giving us $88 million every year at completion, MOA. So if Obaseki borrowed, for instance, I am assuming without accepting, he borrowed 600 million in 6 years, would have paid that off if MOA was giving us that kind of money. So what you look at is your GDP. What is Obaseki's investment? Are those investments going to be yielding money to Edo State? Before Obaseki left, Edo State became the #1 destination of filmmakers. Shegun and Rizzo, all of them were coming on a daily basis. Because they have developed the tourism industry to that point. So, go to VUCH now, Victor Wifo Center, is shut down. Nigeria Observer was revamped. And they were beginning to produce tablets every week. It's shut down. Do they understand what is government?
So the 682 billion
I say I don't have the figures.
Used for development
if it was borrowed, okay. Now I want to tell you now. Have you seen ShopRite? I did the one they can seek. Do you know what rent is coming there? 60 massive retail stores functioning to full capacity. Do you know how much is coming to government coffers from there? What is 600 billion naira if Obaseki actually borrowed that? 6 billion naira, whatever they are saying. In a state, you borrow and put in productive economy, you pay yourself. Now, if you have somebody to borrow you money today to build 6 flats in Benin, won't you do so? And the person says you have 30 years to pay me back. Won't you borrow it and build 6 flats in Benin? When you know what you'll be getting there every year. That is how government runs.
We've spent time.
Thank you.
So just before we go, what do you think your government should do?
That's what question I should have answered. Like, give it quickly. 3.
Yes.
1, Obaseki has a school of technology in Okoromi. I don't even think they know that one. Well-built, full compound, the paved streets.
They should know
Mighty.
because
They should know?
Yes.
Okay, because they have destroyed all the technology. That's why I'm saying that. Okay, let me quickly. You have that school of technology. The school of technology is not being utilized maximally. Because Obaseki government did not advertise it enough. And every time I go there, I say, look, you should advertise this school enough. Do you know what it will mean? Edo children are ingenious. You know what we call ingenuity? Ingenious. Do you know what it will mean if Okpebholo says, look, Edo children from all schools, 1st, 2nd, 3rd in the sciences, you have scholarship to go to Okoromi. Do you know who's training them there? Decagon. Decagon. In the next 5 years, you'll be producing technologies that will be working all over the world. Right now, the few graduates they have there are working in blue chips companies all over the world. Edo young children are here earning dollars, working from home. Those are the kind of vision Obaseki had. So that's the kind of thing he should be doing. But what has he done? He has closed down e-governance. He has destroyed the 3-tier 1.5 petabytes.
The government claim that the e-governance is being controlled by external bodies.
Yes. I mean, just hear that. Have you seen our 3-tier data center? The day people came from abroad and saw that thing, they were asking, what was Obaseki's plan? MTN is jealous of our 3-tier data center. Go and see it inside Government House. So why didn't you, if it's controlled by external bodies, why didn't you say, okay, now it's going to be controlled by internal bodies, let us put it that way, and then bring in young technologists, train them to control it. These are structures on ground, and then you are giving all those kind of stories. So it should do that. It should sit down and study the Edo-based system and stop denigrating it. And say, okay, if the tabs, they've taken the tabs from the teachers. I hope you know that. Teachers are now resorting back to writing lesson notes with their hands. The e-governance system enabled Obaseki to control the movement of all the money in Edo State. If you are a permanent secretary or you are a deputy director or whatever, and then you are not working your work, Obaseki will know from his office. Do you know why? Because the system runs on channels. So they will see where the letter got, the memo that was sent to you got to, and there was no reply. So you were the one stalling the system why it didn't work. He should have looked for those who will help him understand these things. Taiwo Akerele was the first chief of staff to Obaseki. He would have employed Taiwo. Taiwo knows a few about these things. But as I told you, that's why when I was laying the contest, I said, please don't stop me. I wanted to show you why he missed it. They came with vendetta. They actually believed that Obaseki, all those things they were telling each other, that Shomole's mouth was telling them, they believed it. By the time we now overwhelmed them with the transition committee, when we brought all the things that we have done and put it on, they ran away. Oh, they sat only one day and ran away. Because they don't want to admit that those things exist so that they can start saying these lies that they are saying. Is that the way you should have asked questions? Obaseki set up a transition committee unprecedented in Nigeria. I said, set up your own committee. Let the two committees sit down. Let me be showing you what I have done. That's what you would have said, but you are owing here and you are owing here. You ran away, you refuse to do that. Then you are not coming back to say this. Who are they talking to? Obaseki is probably lecturing in one university now in the US. It's weird, those people that they are punishing. And that's why we are talking. Are you following me? We are talking because of the systematic subterfuge that they have built up to cover their incompetence and to steal our money. Because if they were sincere, they would say the sincere, we didn't know Obaseki did this. Odubu confessed that day publicly. He said, well, from what you have shown us is impressive, but we've studied it. Then they were not asking for hard copies. You have e-copy. I'm sitting here with you and I want to send something to you on WhatsApp. You say, I must go and type it first and bring.
That's the profiling solution.
Yes, that's the solution. So, like that technology is a solution. They should try and do that. Now, Obaseki had about 8 multinational farms on palm oil under the ESOP program, Edo State Oil Palm Program. It's a program. We have Fayus Farm here. We have Saturn Farms here. We have too many farms. Forget Presco and Okomo, which are the 2 listed farms in the Nigeria Stock Exchange. I'm talking of the ones Obaseki brought. We have Saturn here. And we have several farms like that. Palm oil is in competition, if not even more, than fossil fuel in the international markets. But, you know, they were in the nursery stages. he should sit down with Obaseki. What is the plan for this palm oil? If he made friends with Obaseki, he would have succeeded. Let us assume that he's there beyond 6 months. So he should ask Obaseki, what's the projection? Obaseki will show him how he can make so much. If Obaseki has stayed there for 10 years, Edo State would almost be pursuing Lagos. Lagos would have been the only state richer than Edo State.
Is it same Obaseki that did not attend his inauguration?
When all your plan is vendetta, he would have been foolish to be here. Obaseki will be in jail right now. And then they will cook up all the stories and put in his head. That would have been foolishness. It's not bravery. That's foolishness. Because you are dealing with an antagonist that takes no prisoner. They just came to destroy you. That's what they came to do. So I'm giving all these things I'm saying that do you believe they exist? They do. I will be making so much from palm oil. So he should do that. Now, Obaseki was trying to link university to industry, and that's what is happening in Igoraki. Even the Edo State Polytechnic is linked with a polytechnic in China. Oh, this can we close?
I still want
250 something projects.
I still want to prefer more solutions.
Yes.
You know, so all of the issues you are like
Radisson, for instance, that they are angry about, the Radisson Hotel. The reason why Radisson, see, because Obaseki developed the stadium, you saw how many important matches they have brought to come and play in Benin. When people come to play matches in Benin, do you know the economic viability at that period of the games? Now, that's the same thing we wanted to do with Radisson. More that you are saying has been listed. Go and fact, you can sit down there and fact check that. Among the 50 most important places to visit this year by New York Times, Moa is there. Edo State Moa. So you can imagine if it was completed. Among the 50 most in the whole world that you can visit this year, check it now. Moa is there. So if international visitors like that are going to be pouring in every year, you need quality hotels to stay. Those hotels were built to be sourcing local food, provide jobs, look at this, look at that. That's how you build and reflate the economy. Now, they are saying that we did this in Moa, which is one of the things they are indicting us for, because they don't even know the creativity. We had 20%, 19% shares in Moa. That was when dollar was low to the Naira. When they came in, through the indiscretion of their president, Naira shot up to over 8,000. Obaseki quickly became economically creative. He brought in 17 other people to buy into Edo State investment so that we only pay 2 billion. Which is the remaining from the 19, the remaining 2%. So we have 19 to 20% shares in a hotel that is going to cost like 65 billion at completion. Edo State has 20% shares in that Radisson. So that's how you do business. Government uses its resources to negotiate. You don't have the resources to do the building and all that. So if you have land, you use your land to negotiate. You buy into it. If you have manpower, you use it to negotiate, you buy into it. So you bring investors from everywhere, you buy into it. Gradually, you continue to increase your shares in those investments. And before you know it, you owe it 100%. British colonized us and left a lot of investments. AP that you are saying today was British Petrol, BP, and so many other things. Now, when the British was going, government designed a program. In some we had 40%, in some we had 60%. That's how we bought into the investment of Britain. Gradually now, all of them are now Nigerian. That's how you do it. How are you going to grow Nigeria? Where do you have money from? So you must do creative financing. Get people who are richer than you to come and invest. You know it's in your land, and you have shares in it, and you are government. Tomorrow, this man would have come, what is his name, Aswe, and said, no, that's Obaseki's, this thing was too small. Look at this, look at the realities. We have to renegotiate this thing and increase the shares to 30%. And the people are already doing business here. They'll still look at what they are gaining in 70%. They'll say, okay, that's how your government will take over everything in the end. So they think it's just all these Pangolo things they are doing on the road, shouting, jumping up and down on podiums. Government is serious business, deep thinking. Because a government must think 30 years, 40 years down the line. That's how government think. Not what do we do now that the whole people will be clapping for us. Then they will come and tell the people who don't know. Yeah, then they will create a scenario. The man didn't mind, but let them name physical infrastructure. After Ogbomudia, who comes near Obaseki in physical infrastructure? Let them name investment in productive economy. Who comes near Obaseki? Human resource development. Who comes near Obaseki? Then technology, the whole world knows. Who comes near Obaseki?
But the government still has more days, more years. Not even
which government?
This present government.
Morning
it's
shows
just
morning.
100 days in office.
Morning shows
so
the
there
day.
There are still more years.
Morning shows the day. That's why I told you just now that it is immature for any government to be talking of infrastructural development in 100 days.
But so far,
that what they should have been showing us is templates.
So far,
the template they are showing us is template of violence and hatred.
That is your own view. That is your own view. And I don't think it's a fact.
No, if he's ready to, let us assume. You know the case is a matter in court.
Maybe if
so we don't know whether he will be the governor in the next few months.
Maybe we should have had an APC member here to tackle you too. But I'm not.
Facts don't lie. He will only be angry. He will get angry. That's all.
That track record is not just Tog. Tog is out of it. It's not part of track records.
Togri?
Yes.
Do you know that the consultant employed to supervise the revenue collection in Edo State is Tony Kabaka?
He is.
And the Tony Kabaka's business name is Atalakba. Translated to English means lion. Now, why would you do that? A system has already been automated. The system is working. Revenue generation we didn't have one problem with revenue taxpayers. Now, even to evaluate your tax, it is done electronically and technologically to say, okay, VOS will pay this. And then it was working smoothly. Why do you need a lion to now enforce it?
How is it a lion?
Atalakwa means lion.
That is just a name. It's just a name. It's just a name. Okay. Maybe it means.
Wait until you don't pay your tax. Right?
Thank you, Mr. Yes. I think we should end this program. Yes. We just hope that though you attacked and you provide solutions.
Yes.
Yeah. So we hope that the government, will take a look at some of the, issues that you raised, and we find a way forward to, live to the expectations of Edo people. Thank you for your immense contributions.
Thank you for having me.
And that is where we round off the program on Political Insights on VOS TV Nigeria. Thanks for watching. Do well to like, comment, and share. What's your thoughts on Governor Monday Okpebholo's 100 days in office, his achievements, his style of governance so far? Do you think he has done well? Do you think a new Edo has risen in line with his administration's mantra, or a new Edo is falling? Thanks for watching the program. Bye for now. My name is Jude. Okay.